Monarchs and other pollinators are in decline, as various research from around the globe has indicated. And Ryan Pinkoff from the U of I Extension is joining me now with the dirt on how we can help our little pollinator friends. Ryan, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Okay.
Great to talk pollinators.
Yes. Okay. So I feel like in the past we've heard about monarchs being, kind of almost on the extinct list. I thought it kind of got better, no?
Well, things are probably improving for monarchs, and yeah, they have been considered for the threatened and endangered list. That's being reviewed kind of annually by the Fish and Wildlife Service. But last winter, there's a group that monitors overwintering monarchs, and it was one of the lowest years on record. So this year, a lot of folks aren't seeing as many monarchs, and we're getting a lot of questions about that.
So what do we do? Or can we do anything?
Well, here's some of the good news.
Okay, good news first.
I have started to see a lot of monarchs since about mid-August. And some of these, actually, we all know they migrate all the way down to Mexico. So some of these are the beginnings of monarch migration, so they're moving through. But we're getting a lot more reports. We're seeing more monarchs. We're finding caterpillars later in the season here. So what research would tell us is that so far, monarch populations have been able to rebound in the summer. Despite some of the low numbers, they rebound in the summer, they reproduce, they produce enough numbers to migrate again. Now, what we don't know is where is that tipping point? When do they get so low that they can't rebound in the summer? But to me, that's good news. I think I'm seeing that summer rebound happening.
Okay.
I think we're going to have probably decent numbers that migrate over the winter. And another thing that's a little bit of a reassurance on this is that if you look at the data for overwintering monarchs, it goes up and down and it's cyclical. So we're kind of hitting, hopefully, the bottom of a cycle that comes back up. But back to your question on what can folks do? What can you do in your garden right now? Well, the most important thing for monarchs right now is to have nectar-producing flowers in your garden and present. And I think you probably know lots of garden spaces don't have anything flowering right now. So unless you've kind of thought ahead, you need to have those floral resources, those nectar sources in place. And there's a ton of great natives. We saw some pictures there of Joe Pyeweed was one of those plants that monarchs like this time of year. Asters, gosh, asters and goldenrods. Beautiful. Can't add enough of those this time of year. So I think New England aster was one of those pictures that we had of a monarch. Okay, so plant some milkweed for them during the summer, and then the late blooming plants for the fall. Yeah, that's the best thing we can do. Okay, I think we can handle that. Another thing is just adding larger habitat in other places, but our yards are only so big, and I'm gradually pecking away at any of the turf in our yard. So, I mean, we're getting to the point where there's not a ton more to add in some places. But we appreciate you trying. Yeah. Okay, well, Ryan's going to stick around because we've got more questions for him. Some hot, burning fall gardening questions coming in, so you'll stick around. Yeah, sure. And in the meantime, if you want to connect with Ryan there at the U of I Extension's office, we will have all of that information for you at ciLiving.tv.